Greetings, everyone. This is Payman Lorenzo, the host of the Elizabeth podcast. And today I have one of my very best friends from not only the podcast, not only the academy, but also my book. She's been both. I'm honored that she's in both of my book, Volume 1 and now Volume 2, and also one of the alumni of my 3-week launch podcast academy. From when was that? From May or June of
Oh,
2022, something like that.
yeah.
All right. So I have her here now. Today is Thursday, January 11, 2024, almost 2 years later, but hey, better late than never. So here I am with my wonderful friend, Kim. Kim, welcome back here.
Thanks for having me. It's great to be here. And I think I actually joined the podcast group, would have been about a year ago now, maybe about July. Actually, yeah. So it wasn't right back at the beginning. I was a latecomer.
Yeah, it was awesome having you. So I just want to ask you a couple of questions about the program. First of all, how long had you been thinking of launching a podcast prior to joining the program?
It had been in my mind for probably a good couple of years. I always thought I'd like to do it at some stage, but honestly, it just seemed like it was daunting and it was going to be complicated and I needed to, spend a lot of time and have a lot of stuff. And I just put it off.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what happened to me as well. Put it off my podcast for 5 years. And what was the main reason? So what was the main reason that you hadn't started your podcast?
Back then, it was because exactly for that reason. I thought, wow, how am I going to do it? I don't have the expertise. I don't have the equipment. I don't have the time. Time was a big thing. Do I even know what I want to talk about? What's my theme? It just seemed, to be honest, it just seemed so big and so overwhelming that I did not even know where to start. And that's actually why I put it on. It just seemed too complicated.
Absolutely. And what made you decide that, hey, it's time to go, to do it?
Well, I'm a fairly simple kind of person, as in I don't like worrying about too much. I like to simplify my life as much as I possibly can. And I was a guest on your podcast. And then I realized actually it doesn't need to be complicated. It just needs to be what is right for you. And if I show up being myself and not having to worry about the bells and the whistles and having to be, perfect and have this whole team behind me doing it, actually I can do whatever the heck I want and make it authentic to me.
Beautiful. So tell me, why me and why my program and not someone else's program?
Pretty much exactly what I've just said is the reasons why I didn't think I could do it. You made me realize how easy it was. I jumped onto your podcast. I did the 2 podcasts with you. They were done. They were out. Easy, no fuss, no matter. And then when we had a talk about the possibility of me learning how to do the podcast in your academy, you told me that it was as simple as how it looked. And to me, that was very appealing to me. I want to be able to do a video, speak to someone. I don't need it to be perfect. I'm not going to cut stuff out. I'm not going to spend hours editing because I don't have hours. And I'm not that kind of person. I'm not perfect. I'm messy. I wing things. I just needed it to be as authentic and simple and free flowing as possible. When I realized that I could do that, I knew that there was actually nothing holding me back at all.
Beautiful, beautiful. What are your overall thoughts about the program?
I like the program because it's been broken down to make things very simple. We go back to the beginning, back to basics, and work out who your target audience is and so forth, and then go from there to work out the name. And it's very simple. You tell us everything that we need to know, what we need to do, the basic equipment. We don't need to spend thousands and thousands to get started. I just like that it was very simple. And in the 3 modules or the 3-week program, done, easy.
Beautiful. What part of the program did you like the most?
I liked the most, I was the first session when we got to work out what I actually am going to do, because I've got a lot of stuff in that head of mine and there's lots of ideas and I want to help people and I want to do this and I want to do that. How was I going to narrow that down? But working through that, working out what my expertise is, what I know the most, what I'm passionate about. And we were just having a conversation, if you recall, and literally I got the name of the podcast, everything in maybe 10 minutes. Maybe 10 minutes if I'm lucky, and it was done. And then I think within 20 minutes, I bought the domain name. I'd done everything I needed to do.
I remember that. Yeah,
and everything was there, which was so bizarre because the name of the podcast is pretty cool, and everything that I needed was there. So, yeah, that was epic.
Beautiful. What did you think of the support and community within the program?
It was really good because they're just people like, other than yourself and the experts, just people like me that have no clue what they're doing. And as we're learning and growing, we're helping the new people coming through. So I didn't feel self-conscious about asking questions. Some of my questions were silly because I had no idea. And the support was there, and I felt like I could ask whatever I needed to without being judged.
Beautiful. Now, what do you think of the experts within the program?
I think that they were exactly what I needed. I think that for me, I needed to know a little more about, marketing and the stuff to use and how to broadcast things, and every aspect you had in there was covered with your experts. And I thought that they were very relatable. They spoke to me so I could understand it, and I'm a complete novice, so very good.
Beautiful. Uh, what is the status of your podcast right now?
The status of my podcast is that I am ready to go. I've got the artwork done. I've got all of the equipment ready to go. I paused it because I had a lot of travel going on last year and it just wasn't quite the right time for my business. However, because I have access to the academy, I'm going back through and refreshing things. About to go on another trip because I do a lot of travel. And when I come back to Australia, I will be beginning recording and I will start. I'm off. It's done.
Beautiful, beautiful. How do you think that your podcast is going to help you with your business?
I think it's going to help me with my business because part of the reason why I delayed starting it was I had a lot of growth within myself, and I was just, I guess, stepping into an expertise and just making sure I had every aspect of it covered. So I think that right now, because it's in complete alignment, everything's where it needs to be. I've got a lot of other things that are coming together as well that are related to it. I think it's going to propel my business more than I can even imagine.
I'm excited for you. Can't wait. Do you have a date in mind that you're going to launch your podcast? Let's put it out there.
Well, I haven't even recorded one yet, and I'm out of the country for about a month. So I'm probably going to say, if we're looking at the academy, we need to have a bunch of them recorded. I would probably have to say maybe the end of April, because that'll give me time to record 20 podcasts. And at the very latest, so I pushed it, it could possibly be May or June, just because of the time to physically record 20 podcasts.
Beautiful. Would you recommend the program to other people? And if say, why?
I would recommend the program to anyone that wants to start a podcast because it's simple, which is how things should be in life. It's simple, it's step by step, it's broken down, and all that overwhelm that we have when we think, I'm going to launch a podcast. Oh my goodness, where do I even start? You take it back to basics and you deliver it one step at a time in a logical order, and you just break it down, make it simple. And I think if you've got something you want to share with the world, I think this is the right place for you.
Awesome. And was it worth the investment for you to be part of this program?
1,000,000%. Especially since I got everything I needed out of it. And even though I had to pause it for whatever reason, I'm going to go back and it's still there for me to revisit. The work I've already done and saved, my artwork's ready for my podcast. That's how close I was to getting started. So all of that is still there. I can go back and I can revisit. I'm still part of the alumni team, and it's definitely worth the investment.
And keep in mind, as an alumni, you're a member for life. So even 5 years down the road, when the program is much better, much bigger, much more expensive, by the way, you're a member for life. So
Thank
listen,
you.
Ken, very welcome. It's an absolute pleasure, honor that to have you as an alumni and as a wonderful, I'm very proud to have you as a wonderful friend of mine. Can't wait to read your beautiful story about your gift in the book in about probably a month from now, by the time it's out, by mid-February. So I salute you. You're a true leader with a heart. Keep shining your light. Keep blessing the world with your impact, your presence.
Thank you.
Stay safe, stay awesome, safe and fun travels. And I'll talk to you very soon. Take care, my friend. Thank you.
Thanks, Simon.
You're
Bye.
welcome. Cheers.